Story 1 of 12. St Kilda's Lance Collard found guilty of homophobic slur, faces sanction hearing. St Kilda's Lance Collard found guilty of homophobic slur, faces sanction hearing. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Lance Collard was found guilty by an AFL tribunal of using a homophobic slur against Frankston player Darby Hipwell during a VFL match on March 27, 2026. The AFL tribunal upheld the charge against Collard for breaching AFL Rule 2.3a, conduct unbecoming. Collard denied using the slur, insisting he said "come here, maggot" instead. Frankston players Darby Hipwell and Bailey Lambert testified that they heard Collard use the homophobic slur. Collard was previously banned for 6 matches in 2024 for using the same homophobic slur. But not all outlets told the same story. Article 3, Newscomau, states Collard was initially hit with a 3-week ban for a brawl, reduced to 2 weeks, but Articles 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7 only mention a 2-match ban for a high hit. Article 8, ABC, states Collard was handed a 9-week ban with 2 weeks suspended, while earlier Articles 1, 2, 4 only mention the AFL seeking a 10-week suspension without specifying the final outcome. Article 6, ABC, mentions Collard signed a statutory declaration denying the slur, but this detail is not repeated in other articles. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, and news.com.au. Story 2 of 12. Hungary's 2026 election ousts Viktor Orbán after 16 years, Péter Magyar wins with Tisza party. Hungary's 2026 election ousts Viktor Orbán after 16 years, Péter Magyar wins with Tisza party. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Péter Magyar's Tisza party won 138 of 199 parliamentary seats, securing a 2/3 supermajority in Hungary's 2026 election. Viktor Orbán conceded defeat on April 13, 2026, after 16 years as Hungary's prime minister, calling the result painful but unambiguous. The election was held on April 12, 2026, with a record turnout of nearly 80% of eligible voters. US Vice President J.D. Vance visited Budapest on April 7, 2026, to campaign for Orbán, calling him a fantastic man and endorsing him during a rally. Donald Trump repeatedly endorsed Orbán, including a Truth Social post on April 10, 2026, calling him a true friend, fighter, and winner. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and ABC report that J.D. Vance's visit was seen as a last roll of the dice by Orbán's Fidesz party, but Newscomau states Vance's visit was a golden age for Hungarian-US relations. The Guardian and ABC state that Orbán's government was accused of leaking EU information to Russia, but Newscomau does not explicitly mention this controversy. The Guardian and ABC report that Orbán's government used AI-generated billboards to attack Magyar, while Newscomau does not mention this tactic. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, news.com.au, Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Story 3 of 12. Angus Taylor's hardline immigration policy and its political fallout. Angus Taylor's hardline immigration policy and its political fallout. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Angus Taylor, opposition leader, will deliver a major policy speech at the Menzies Research Centre on April 14, 2026, outlining plans to discriminate against migrants based on Australian values. Taylor proposes making compliance with the Australian Values Statement a compulsory visa condition, allowing visa cancellations if values are breached. Taylor targets approximately 1,300 to 1,500 Gazan refugees who arrived in Australia after Hamas' October 7, 2023, attack, calling them a clear risk and demanding far greater scrutiny. Taylor's policy includes reintroducing temporary protection visas, abolished by Labor in 2023, a safe country list for asylum claims, and mandatory social media screening for migrants. Taylor claims migrants from liberal democracies are more likely to subscribe to Australian values than those from fundamentalist, extremist, or dictatorial regimes. But not all outlets told the same story. The SMH and Thij report approximately 1,300 Gazans arrived in Australia, while Newscomau states around 1,500 Palestinians from Gaza arrived, with an additional 2,500 to 3,000 visitor visas granted to Palestinians during the same period. Newscomau and Thij describe Taylor's policy as discriminatory based on values, but SMH and Newscomau also note Taylor explicitly states Australia's current program is non-discriminatory based on nationality, race, gender, or faith. Newscomau claims Taylor's policy would create a task force to deport illegal residents, while SMH and Thij describe it as extra funding to deport unlawful non-citizens and an enhanced screening coordination centre. This story was covered by news.com.au, Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Story 4 of 12. Prince Harry and Meghan's unofficial 2026 Australia visit and mixed public commercial engagements. Prince Harry and Meghan's unofficial 2026 Australia visit and mixed public commercial engagements. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Prince Harry and Meghan arrived in Melbourne on April 14, 2026, at 6 a.m. after flying commercially on a Qantas flight from the US. Their first public stop was the Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne, where they met patients, parents, and staff for about 10 to 15 minutes. Meghan replied happy to be here when a reporter said welcome to Australia during the hospital visit. The couple's itinerary includes Melbourne, Canberra, and Sydney, with events focused on mental health, veterans, and Indigenous communities. Harry will speak at the Interreg Summit in Melbourne on April 16, 2026, about workplace mental health, ticketed event. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and ABC report Victoria Police will provide security, but the Sussex's team initially claimed the visit would be entirely privately funded. Newscomau states the couple spent about 15 minutes at the hospital, while ABC and Guardian report 10 minutes. The Guardian describes the hospital crowd's greeting as a hush followed by hi, but this detail is not mentioned in other sources. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, news.com.au, and SBS News. Story 5 of 12. RBA warns of stagflation risks from Middle East war and energy shock in Australia. RBA warns of stagflation risks from Middle East war and energy shock in Australia. Here's what every outlet agrees on. RBA Deputy Governor Andrew Hauser called stagflation a central banker's nightmare during a fireside chat at the Money Marketeers of New York University on April 14, 2026. The Westpac Melbourne Institute Consumer Sentiment Index fell 12.5% in April 2026, from 91.6 to 80.1 points, the largest monthly drop since COVID-19. Australia's headline inflation is currently 3.7%, above the RBA's 2 to 3% target range. The RBA's next board meeting is scheduled for May 4 to 5, 2026. Financial markets priced in a 64% chance of a third consecutive interest rate hike at the May 5 meeting. But not all outlets told the same story. The ABC states headline inflation is 3.7% without specifying the timeframe, while The Guardian implies a projected jump to 4.6% in the year to March 2026 without confirming the current rate. The ABC describes the Westpac sentiment drop as 12.5%, from 91.6 to 80.1, while The Guardian rounds it to 13%, without specifying the exact starting point. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 6 of 12. Texas man charged for Molotov attack on Sam Altman's home and OpenAI HQ. Texas man charged for Molotov attack on Sam Altman's home and OpenAI HQ. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Daniel Moreno-Gama, 20, is accused of throwing a Molotov cocktail at Sam Altman's San Francisco home on April 14, 2026, around 4 o'clock local time. Moreno-Gama traveled from Spring, Texas, to San Francisco to carry out the attacks. He was arrested after attempting to burn down OpenAI's headquarters and threatening to harm people inside, according to court records. Authorities recovered incendiary devices, kerosene, a lighter, and a self-authored anti-AI document from Morinoghama at the time of arrest. Morinoghama faces federal charges including attempted damage, destruction of property by explosives, up to 20 years, and possession of an unregistered firearm, up to 10 years. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian does not mention attempted murder charges, while ABC explicitly states Morinoghama faces 2 counts of attempted murder in state court. ABC specifies the Molotov cocktail set an exterior gate at Altman's home alight, while The Guardian does not detail the exact target of the fire. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 7 of 12. Metro Trains Melbourne investigating pantograph defects in high-capacity metro trains, HCMT, causing disruptions. Metro Trains Melbourne investigating pantograph defects in high-capacity metro trains, HCMT, causing disruptions. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Metro Trains is investigating a potential defect in pantographs on its high-capacity metro trains, HCMT, fleet, which operates exclusively through the $15 billion Metro Tunnel. On February 3, an HCMT pulled down an overhead wire near Armadale, leaving around 600 passengers stranded on 2 trains for up to 2 hours without air conditioning on a 30-degree day. Metro identified the Armadale incident was caused by a pantograph fault, and a February 11 alert to drivers warned of abnormal pantograph behavior, including pantographs bobbing up and down and excessively arching. HCMTs lack driver cabin-side mirrors, unlike older models, relying instead on rear-facing CCTV cameras that do not capture the pantograph area, making it impossible for drivers to monitor overhead issues visually. The HCMT fleet operates on the Cranbourne-Pakenham and Sunbury lines, which form a single cross-city line connected via the Metro Tunnel, and were built starting in 2017 at a cost of $2.3 billion through a public-private partnership with Downer responsible for maintenance. But not all outlets told the same story. No contradictions found between the 2 sources. This story was covered by Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Story 8 of 12. Victorian Labour Cabinet reshuffle with new ministers ahead of election. Victorian Labour Cabinet reshuffle with new ministers ahead of election. Here's what every outlet agrees on. For Labour MPs Luba Gregorowicz, Cororoit, Paul Edbrook, Frankston, Michaela Settle, Eureka, and Paul Harmer, Box Hill, were promoted to Cabinet on April 14, 2026, unopposed. The Cabinet reshuffle follows the resignations of Health Minister Mary-Ann Thomas, Finance Minister Danny Pearson, and Water Minister Gail Tierney, who will not recontest the November 2026 state election. Premier Jacinta Allen will assign portfolios to the new ministers, with the reshuffle confirmed on April 14, 2026, and the new cabinet sworn in on April 15, 2026. Paul Edbrook was first elected to Parliament in 2014, while Michaela Settle and Paul Harmer were elected in 2018, and Luba Gregorowicz entered Parliament in 2022. The state budget is scheduled for May 5, 2026, with parliamentary budget estimates hearings following in the weeks after. But not all outlets told the same story. The Age states Paul Harmer secured enough support to be elevated after a contested vote, while ABC implies the 4 promotions were unopposed despite Richardson's earlier interest. This story was covered by ABC News and The Age. Story 9 of 12. Discovery of giant echidna fossil in Victoria reveals Ice Age species presence. Discovery of giant echidna fossil in Victoria reveals Ice Age species presence. Here's what every outlet agrees on. The extinct giant echidna species is named *Megalobguilia owenii*, Owen's giant echidna. The fossil was found in Foul Air Cave *, part of the Buchan Cave Complex in East Gippsland, Victoria Star. The fossil was originally excavated in Star 1907 during an expedition led by museum officer Frank Spry Star. The specimen is a skull fragment partial skull that was initially misidentified as a small kangaroo hind limb star. Tim Ziegler collection manager of vertebrate paleontology at Museum's Victoria Research Institute rediscovered and identified the fossil in star 2021 star. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian states the fossil was initially plucked from a tray of unsorted fossils in 2021 while the ABC does not specify the exact year of rediscovery beyond recently in museum collections. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 10 of 12. 2026 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees announced, including Phil Collins, Wu-Tang Clan, and Oasis. 2026 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees announced, including Phil Collins, Wu-Tang Clan, and Oasis. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Phil Collins is among the 2026 inductees as a solo act, already inducted as part of Genesis. The 2026 induction ceremony will be held in Los Angeles on November 14th, ABC says November 14th, Guardian says November 14th at Peacock Theatre. Wu-Tang Clan and the late Luther Vandross are first-time nominees making the 2026 list. More than 1,200 artists, historians, and music industry professionals voted on the nominees. Eligibility requires artists to have released their first commercial recording at least 25 years prior to induction. But not all outlets told the same story. The ABC article initially mentions the ceremony date as November without a specific day, while The Guardian specifies November 14th at the Peacock Theatre. ABC lists Fela Kuti as a performer inductee, while Guardian places him in the early influence category. ABC does not mention Oasis or Iron Maiden as inductees, while Guardian explicitly includes them. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 11 of 12. Hidden cameras found in Horsham Town Hall change rooms, police investigation ongoing. Hidden cameras found in Horsham Town Hall change rooms, police investigation ongoing. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Victoria Police seized mobile phones, computers, and storage devices from Horsham Town Hall on April 2, 2026, for forensic examination. Horsham Rural City Council confirmed a security breach involving hidden cameras in the town hall change rooms and apologized to affected individuals. One person of interest has been identified in the investigation and was stood down from their job. They have not yet been interviewed by police. Victoria Police executed search warrants at Horsham Town Hall following reports of hidden cameras in the change rooms. Horsham Rural City Council cancelled or rescheduled events at Horsham Town Hall as a precautionary measure. But not all outlets told the same story. News Kamau states the council confirmed the media reports on late Tuesday afternoon, while ABC does not specify a time for the council's confirmation. This story was covered by ABC News and news.com.au. Story 12 of 12. Gold Coast home invasion and stabbing linked to armed robbery, suspect in custody. Gold Coast home invasion and stabbing linked to armed robbery, suspect in custody. Here's what every outlet agrees on. A man, 38, and woman, 46, were attacked in their Karora home on April 14, 2026, around 4 a.m. local time. The male victim received stab wounds to his torso, right shoulder, and face. The female victim suffered a chest injury. An 18-year-old from Karora was taken into custody and is assisting police with inquiries. Police are urging the public to provide CCTV or dashcam footage related to the incident. A dark-colored SUV was seen fleeing the scene of the home invasion. But not all outlets told the same story. ABC states the male victim is in a life-threatening condition, while News Kamau describes him as serious but stable. News Kamau specifies the female victim was treated and discharged, but ABC only mentions she sustained minor injuries without confirming discharge status. This story was covered by ABC News and news.com.au.